Hello, everyone. We had a series of okay games yesterday. I think some games I played pretty well, others I played pretty bad. I did go back and I did some studying and did quite a bit of practicing. I think right now I'm ready to get into some duels for the day. So let's get into the first one. Okay, we got a new opponent here. Way for good luck. Immediately looks like USA or Canada. Thinking US. Oh, Williamstown, Massachusetts, and this looks like it's probably out west. I'm not going to try to get this one 100%, but I'm just going to go ahead and place it out here in Western Mass. The player zooming in on Michigan. Moved it to West Virginia. Actually moves out west. Okay, so I pretty much nailed that one. It was in the south of Vermont. I don't know what to reply. Good game, I guess. Had the advantage there. This is probably South Africa or Botswana. Not sure on this Google car. I'm gonna go ahead and go bots. Oops, that's not Botswana. I think that'll probably be an okay guess. The other person goes further north. Okay, and I was closer again. Doing another really good chunk of damage. Still anybody's game. Don't worry just yet. I'm known to make incredible blunders. Okay, we are in Europe. This is probably Poland. I feel like it could be one of the Baltics. I'm going to go in the northeast of Poland because it might be one of these countries as well. Let's check it out. The other person goes Lithuania. Okay, and it was Latvia. Doing some damage to me there. Cypress tree. I mean, poplar trees. I don't see any car meta to use. Concrete pole. That's kind of like... Okay, we are in Europe. Seen that. Where have I seen that? I do feel like I gotta be in maybe like the Balkans. I'm not sure it's Bulgaria. I don't think it's Greece. Could be Macedonia. Serbia, maybe. Croatia, maybe. I'm going to go Croatia on this one. Those cactuses right over here. I may have missed that. Italy is a good idea. Okay, yeah, and it was this, I think Corsica Island's going to do a chunk of damage to me. Okay. Looks like we're driving right. Or are we? Yeah, we're driving left. Should be the UK. Place the pin here. The other person goes further north. Okay, they pretty much nailed that one. Doing some damage to me. Okay, these lovely rounds. Short, stubby antenna. Some piers maybe in the north. Looks like we are driving on the right. Yeah. I just unfortunately don't know. I think I'm just going to go in Mexico here. See if that gets me through the round. The other person goes in Colombia. Okay, it was the south of Colombia. Ecuador, I mean, I'm sorry. It's going to do a massive chunk of damage to me. I think that antenna may have been a meta for Ecuador. Not entirely sure. Here we are in what I presume is maybe Turkey? No. I'm not sure why. Thinking maybe Turkey or like Greece or something. Like out here? I don't know what kind of crop this is. I suppose it could be like Spain. Gee, let's just go in the west of Turkey and hopefully that's good. Okay, and it was north of Spain, interestingly enough. Almost going to knock me out of the game. All I know is that we were in Europe someplace. Trying to read this. Very weird looking language. Got to put myself in Central Europe, though. Maybe that's Czech. I don't think it'll be a bad guess. I can't really afford to make a mistake. The other person goes Slovakia. Okay, that's going to knock me out of the game. Good game. They came back. It's too bad those first couple of good rounds didn't do much for me, but overall, good game. It's going to knock me down closer to 1,000 again, so starting the day off with a loss. I think all things considered, that was an alright game. I'm going to get into another one. Okay, got a new opponent here. Got to wait for good luck. Got this tile road. In front of the car is blue. This is Brazil. Kind of these thicker mountains. I think there's some tile out in Acre. I think these mountains maybe remind me more of down here. I'm going to go for it, see what happens. The other person goes Acre. Okay, luckily I did not go there. I was much closer. I did think of it, though. It's much further south. Looks like a ladder pole. Looks more like Southeast Asia, though. What hemisphere am I in? Maybe the north. Can't quite place myself on this one. Can't tell if this is South America. I think Ecuador uses... But these kind of look Asian to me. That looks Asian. I am going to go in Kalimantan. And not feel good about it, because I don't know what to do with this pole. Let's Let's just go for it here. The other person goes in Cambodia. Okay, they got it. Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't think I've ever really seen those polls before. It's a Cambodia thing, though. I got to keep that in mind. This should be maybe Spain. No. The reason I said that, I think this is Estonia. Not sure about that, though. Estonia or Finland, maybe. I'm going to go Estonia here. I don't feel good about it either. The other person goes in Latvia. Okay, and it was Latvia. I forgot about Latvia. Getting crushed so far. Let's hope it doesn't. Hope it doesn't carry on. Black car. Maybe in the north. Maybe Uruguay. I think Uruguay can be an option. I'm going to place the pin here in Uruguay. The players kind of doing something similar in Argentina. They moved to Uruguay. Okay, and it was. Tiny chunk of damage there. Okay, here we are in the U.S. I would say this is the U.S. It's going to kind of go maybe Northern Virginia or something here. I'm not sure if it's Pennsylvania or not, but probably right in the middle. Okay, and it was Maryland. Hancock, Maryland again. That popped up yesterday, I think. Reminds me of Denmark, but it looks like we're driving on the left. Not sure what these are doing here. I mean, I'm not sure where we would see palms. I mean, I don't think this is one of like the islands. Maybe one of these places, Guernsey or Jersey or something. I mean, I suppose it could be kind of tropical. Not sure about that though. Not sure on the geography of either of these places. Oh, I'm just gonna go for it. Let's see what happens. The other person goes, Isle of Man, and what? Okay, well, nothing I can do there. Good game. Good guess as well. So going 0 for 2 today. It's going to drop me under 1,000 again. And yep, back to being demoted. That was minus 15, unfortunately for me. So I'm back in 27th spot. Don't know if I should panic or not just yet. But I do think I deserve to lose that game, deserve to have lost that game. So let's get into a third game and let's end on a high note. All right, got an opponent. That took like a minute. Here we are, and I would say probably Slovakia. Yeah, colorful buildings and some mountains to the north. Maybe down this way could make sense. Gonna go Slovakia. Their person goes Slovakia. Okay, and it was on the other side of the country. Tiny chunk of damage to me there. Okay, this looks lovely. Canada. I feel like the northern part of like BC and like Ontario look kind of similar. I do think I'm out west though. Forest fires, etc. Let's check it out. The other person goes in the same area. Okay, and it was completely on the other side of the country. It's going to do a tiny chunk of damage to me. Kind of, we're both thinking the same thing there, though. Okay, here we are in Korea. Pretty flat. Where we really find a flat area of South Korea, but I'm going to go ahead and just center plonk this one and just try to get through the round. Okay, they go much further to the south, and they nailed it. It's going to do a chunk of damage to me there again. Here we are in, this is Canada. It's like a huge lake. It could be anywhere. It's definitely a Canadian flag. That looks like a U.S. flag. House is on stilts. Maybe it's like Lake Champlain. If this ends up being in like the southeast of the U.S. with these houses on stilts and stuff, then, I mean, silly me, but where else am I going to go? Okay, I nailed it. That was excellent. Very cool. It was like outside of Plattsburgh, New York there. Poland, or is this, I think this is Poland. Center plonk this one and try to get through the round. The other person goes a little bit further south, and it was further west. Tiny chunk of damage to me there. Okay. Austria, Switzerland, maybe south of Germany. I think this is the Alps, though. Plonk it kind of in the middle of it all. The person goes in Slovenia. Okay, very good guess. Don't know how they knew that, but very good. Got a white car. Side lines, kind of a rusty guardrail. It's like Eswatini. suppose this could be like Eswatini. I see these mountains over here. That kind of reminds me of Lesotho, though. Other landscapes I've seen of Lesotho were more like kind of barren. I'm gonna go Eswatini. The other person goes Eswatini, and it was Lesotho. Okay, that was a chance to do some damage, and I just recognized it, but... Moving on to the third game here. So we're driving on the left. Looks like Indonesia. No, we are driving on the left. I think this is Ireland, maybe. Yeah, it's an Irish flag. Okay. I'm gonna just guess where I am in Ireland. Just gonna go center plonk this one. Get through the round. The other person goes on the coast. Okay, and it was further north of Dublin. It's gonna do a chunk of damage to me there. Boosting the multipliers. One small mistake is game over for both of us. Yeah. Okay. We are in Italy. Extremely jagged mountains. Is this going to be Corsica, maybe? That has popped up in other rounds on this map. I think that poll has. I'm going to go in Corsica Island here. The other person goes north. Okay, and it looks like I nailed that one. It was Corsica. Is that enough to knock him out? No, it is not, but very good guess. Actually, that is not Corsica. I apologize. I don't know what island this is then. This is Mexico. Really, I just gotta. I think here is probably a good bet. Kind of in the middle. They go further north. Okay, that's almost gonna knock me out of the game then. Knocks me out of the game. What can I do? Losing. 3 in a row. Yeah, sometimes you just can't win a game, despite playing all right. I hate to see this, though. I mean, this is definitely very demotivating. I don't, just once again going on a slide. I mean, it's like week after week, I'm almost getting demoted and then having to dig myself back up. Let's get into a fourth game, though, because I really want to win something today and, just call it quits. But okay, new opponent here. Waving for good luck, because I absolutely need it. Looks like wood poles. This is the UK. I feel pretty good about that. Place it kind of in the middle. The person goes a little bit further south. Okay, they almost nail it. This is Japan. Complicated looking thing up there. I was thinking maybe Okinawa. I don't think this is. I'm gonna go kind of in the south here. The person goes slightly to the east. Okay, and it was in the south. Okay, very good. Starting the game off on a good note. Looks like Bulgaria. I think those are concrete. Yeah, I mean, if feel like Bulgaria's got to be an okay idea here, even with the can, so let's go for it and see what the other player does here. Looks like they're having trouble thinking about this. They go Serbia. Okay, it was Bulgaria. Very good. Doing a nice chunk of damage to the opponent. So we're driving on the left. Puts us in Malaysia or Indo. Can't tell from those license plates. Give me another license plate. Also can't tell from that. Two, yeah, it looks like just one in the middle. So I think this is Malaysia. Not sure where we see that. I'm gonna go outside of Kuala Lumpur, just on the mainland. The person goes in Indo. Okay, yeah, and it was over here in Sarawak. Not too bad. Got the country correct. Probably Romania or Hungary. Let's see, maybe Hungary. Another clue here. Yeah, .hu. Kind of hilly over to the northeast. Yeah, maybe closer to the border of Slovakia. Let's go with Hungary. Looks like they're looking for the name of that town. I mean, I understand I could do that, but, you know, I don't know where I am or where any of these places are, so it makes it very difficult to do so. The person also settles on Hungary, and it was in the northeast, so I had a good idea there with those mountains. So I'm able to do a nice chunk of damage here to this opponent. I'm thinking Turkey. Maybe Jordan. I don't know what kind of chevrons they use. Let's go for it. They're also thinking Israel, Jordan. They choose Israel on this one. Okay, and it was actually in the UAE. Very interesting. So we're both confused on that one. Could not tell the color of the car. I thought it was black. Don't know what that is. This is the UK. Finger Post Shopping Center. It kind of looks depressing. I think people make the joke that if it looks depressing, it's, I think, up here near Manchester or Birmingham or something. Can't tell if that, yeah, I don't think it'd be Irish with the yellow license plates back there. They go further north. Okay, and it was in that Manchester area, so I have a good guess. Okay, in the middle of the desert here. The sun is in the south. Is actually just Kazakhstan. No. This is Oman. Go Oman here. The other person also goes in Oman. Okay, and it was the south of Oman. Massive chunk of damage to me there with the multiplier. Driving on the left, at least this gentleman looks like he's doing so. I'm going to go in Bangladesh. Although I don't like it. The other person also goes in Bangladesh. Okay, and it ended up being Thailand. Jeez. Cambodian, Laotian. I don't think it's Vietnamese. I think this is Cambodia. Just zooming in, they're going Vietnam on this one. Would be also a very good guess. They go Vietnam. Okay, and it was Vietnam. I think I was just slightly closer, but able to do a huge chunk of damage. Okay, here we are in Nigeria. They look to be... I would say like dress maybe more like how like a Muslim person would dress, Muslim women dress. So I'm going to go in the northern part of the country here. Not too far north, but I am going north. The other person goes further south. Okay. That dude to me almost knocks me out. Potentially concrete road. White car. No price increases. Okay, I see some English. Kind of makes me believe that, yeah, this probably is the Philippines. I got to center block this one for sure. Let's go for it. The other person's also thinking the Philippines, and they're also center blocking. They go much further south, though. Let's see if that pays off for them. Okay, they had it right the first time. Finally able to pull a victory out of this session today. Very hard-fought games. I think I played well. Sometimes you just go on a slide and almost get demoted, but I think that should bump me up just a little bit. Okay, well, I'm still going to get demoted anyway. I need to take a break, though, so I'm going to shut it down now while I'm in 27th place, while I'm just slightly under 1,000. I'm going to get back to studying. I'm going to get back to practicing, and when I come back, either later or tomorrow, I am definitely hoping to bump this back up and get a new all-time high.